Well, it's been a busy week on the continent. Time now to check out the top stories in the papers. There's Seedorf, a bit of Leeds, and some Barcelona too. Clarence Seedorf first, though, because it was back down to earth with a bump for Milan's new manager on Wednesday night as the Rossoneri went tumbling out of the Coppa Italia in Clarence's second game in charge. To put this into perspective, when Seedorf arrived at the club last week, he announced that the competition was Milan's biggest priority this season, and then promptly went and lost the next game in it. You had one job to do, Clarence. Says the Gazzetta, Seedorf was brought in to reinvigorate the team, and he did. Unfortunately, the team was Udinese, who go through to the semi-finals, while Milan's only hope now of making Europe is winning the Champions League. It's back down to earth with a bump. Wow, 2 games is all it took. Britney Spears has had longer honeymoons than that. Elsewhere this week, exciting news for Leeds, as here comes the Cagliari, the Cagliari owner, that is, Massimo Cellino. Cellino buys Leeds. Do Cagliari go to the Emirates? Wouldn't be that much further than most of their home games of late, poor old things. But this is l'Unione Sarda with the news that Cagliari's owner Massimo Cellino poised to take over at Leeds. What kind of reign can supporters of the Yorkshire club expect? Well, if Cagliari's anything to go by, plenty of sacked managers, players being sold off and home fixtures on the other side of the country. Still, says the paper, Cagliari fans are going to miss him because that man had a rebel heart. We'll let him go, though, to follow his dream to win the Premier League. Right, which is almost as likely as the paper's story that the Emirates are swooping to buy the massively under-supported Cagliari themselves. On we go then, with the best of luck to all concerned, to the week's top story, which is Barcelona. This week, not so much Mes que un club as un club in a mes. Now, it all started well enough back on Tuesday, indeed. The Catalans were busy announcing their plans for the new Camp Nou. There you go, Nuevo Camp Nou. A lovely looking thing. It's going to take 4 years to build. They say it's going to cost 600 million euros and it's going to take 105,000 spectators, incorporating inside the stadium a mausoleum, an idea they pinched there from Man United, who've had a bunch of stiffs in Old Trafford for a while now. Just above these pictures, though, a real storm was brewing over the Neymar affair. Suggestions that Barcelona's official contract for the Brazilian is not a real one, and that the actual cost of the player could be more than double the published 57.1 million euros. Well, club president Sandro Rossell in bullish mood here in Tuesday's paper, saying Neymar cost 57.1 million and that's that. I don't have anything to hide. Let the judges call me and I will testify. Well, the very next day they did just that, and Rossell handed in his resignation. At the time of recording, it's still being deliberated by the club. Well, El País from Madrid is one of the papers that's across this business in a very thorough fashion. Here they are. Barcelona defend themselves in the Neymar case, but inside they say it seems there's not just one contract between the club and the player, but up to 9 different ones with a variety of extravagant clauses. Here's my favourite one. A clause guaranteeing Neymar 2.5 million euros if he agrees to play where the manager wants him. Catalan paper El Mundo Deportivo take a different view. They call the investigation politically motivated, and they voice rumours that Real Madrid's president Florentino Perez could be behind it. El Mundo also counter by suggesting that Gareth Bale cost Real Madrid actually up to 256 million, except his clause would be to play where Cristiano wants, of course. Yeah. Anyway, with Rossell now under investigation officially for misappropriation of funds by Spanish courts. Wonder if these are the same Spanish courts that came down so hard recently on Dr. Fuentes, eh? It's Catalan among the pigeons in a very real sense for the Blaugrana, at a time when they can ill afford it too, what with Real Madrid just 1 point behind them now and the Liga on fire. Time for them to show their claws, really. Except that's what got them into trouble in the first place. Anyway, that's it for our look at the papers for this week. Fresh batch of stories for you next Friday. Do join us then.